everybody, I am Oakley at Oakley Does Everything, and today we are in the Nerd Nook. Now, I just participated in the 2021 Great Guitar Build-Off. Things went well for the most part. I don't think I made it into the top 10. If you haven't seen my videos of how I made this guitar right here beside me, please go check those out. I'll have some links up here where you can find that playlist. So I thought I'd do something a little interesting and tell you who I think the top 10 scratch builders of the 2021 Great Guitar Build-Off are. So I decided I would just share my top 10 and go through why I picked those. So a little bit of background about me. I am a music educator and a maker. I've been making things for a long time now. I've even taught a class on guitar making, and judging and critiquing things are nothing new to me. As in education, there is a lot of critiquing and judging going on, as well as in music competitions. I have judged some solo and ensemble competitions, so I have a little bit of insight on how to judge things and whatnot. So I'm going to take you through my top 10 scratch builds that I voted for and tell you a little bit about why I voted for them. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Alright, here we are at the Great Guitar Build-Off website. The voting for at this point is over now, but of course you can still go and bid on the invitational entries. There are quite a few amazing ones. Now let's jump in. Of course, it has been said many times already, but I feel it needs to be said again. There were so many amazing entrants. Everybody did a fantastic job, so kudos to everybody else. In this top 10, I will be excluding myself. And real fast, while we're going through these guitars, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button. It's right there. It's easy peasy. Maybe leave a like as well. That helps a ton. Yeah, do that if you can. All right, back to the voting. Here is my number 10. Jumping into the number 10 is Michael Vanden Oden. This is just a pretty straightforward build. Got a Telecaster style body, which I usually am a fan of. I really like the pattern for their pickup pockets, as well as all the fine woodwork that went into it. Very clean, very nice. I love what they did with their 12th fret engravement. Let's see what else. Yep, just really fine details in this one. There's the back of it. The paint on the back is very nice. And of course, the wood pattern is very well done. And there we have the headstock. In 9th place, I went with Sam Knox. Sam Knox has this really neat looking finish here. Looks like they embossed some music notes into the body of it, the front face, and went with kind of a extreme cello body, similar to, you know, violins, violas, stuff like that, just exaggerating the cutouts a bit more. The inlay axe or painted maybe. From this picture it looks like it might be painted in some way. I like the idea. I think it could be touched up a little bit better, just kind of have a little bit more definition there. I like the headstock, how it kind of emulates a scroll at the top. Not specifically a scroll, but it has that knobbiness to it that to me gives that off. Definitely a beautiful picture here, up on a hill overlooking the sea. Very well done. I like the pictures from that, and there is their little profile picture. So nice job, Sam Knox. Moving on to number 8. Alright, now this is an international competition, and so there are pronunciations that I am not quite comfortable with. I'm going to go for it. Edward Napolitano. Hopefully I said it right. So Edward Napolitano, let's go with that. You know, something about this one, I usually don't like headless guitars. Usually to me, they just kind of look funny. I think this one is well done, and the shape complements it and goes well with it, and the neck itself with the through neck going all the way to the end really just adds to it. I like the color. It's a very faded purple, kind of gives a antiquity kind of look to it. There we have a close-up of the pickups where you can see the wiring through the top. I like that. Adds a little bit of transparency to it. And then I didn't say anything about it before, but I do like the 12th fret inlay that we have going on here. Just kind of neat, interesting, and goes with the V style of the body with a bunch of them making a circle. So I think that's pretty cool. Moving on to number 7. James Herbert. This is a bass guitar, I believe, and what I like about this is James made it look like an upright bass by using a standard upright bass bridge and making the neck extend out over top of the body itself rather than being flat and on it. So that was really neat to me. I like how they incorporated that. I'm not entirely sure what this material is for the body itself. I like it. It kind of reminds me of granite, or like a granite countertop kind of style. And I love how James incorporated the GGBO 2021 into that, so that is really neat. I haven't watched the video for this one yet, but I'm kind of curious myself if this is intended to be played like an electric bass or played like an upright bass sitting down maybe. But yeah, definitely love this one. Very well done, James. All right, moving on to number 6, I believe. Jeff Pierce. This one, there's something about it. It obviously looks unique, and I really couldn't figure out what it was that I loved about it until I went and I read the description. The design has a retro look inspired by a 1963 split window Corvette, and then it all clicked. I am a huge car guy myself. I love it. As soon as I read that, I was like, that's definitely it. I love how this adds multiple layers of the body. You know, we have the top layer here, which I believe is curly maple, and then below it we have purple heart. Just having those two layered on top of each other adds a huge amount of dimension. I love the little grills here along that give off that chrome style that you would see from the mid-60s car scene. Just normal paint and lots of chrome, and I think this is really good, and all the colors go together very, very well, I think. Here we have the headstock, bringing the style from the body into the headstock, doing that same thing where we have curly maple on the bottom stacked with the purple heart on top of it. And of course we got that chrome piece to just accent it a little bit and give it more of that 60s, 70s car vibe. Here we got the back, very clean, very nice. Looks like the neck pocket cover from the picture anyway. It's casting a little bit of a shadow, so it might not be as like perfectly flush as you might want it. And then looking at the neck fitting into the neck pocket, I would really like to see this shaved off so that there's no flat space sticking out outside of the neck pocket. So those are some things that I would like to see different, but of course, I really like this guitar, and just very well done in my opinion. Moving on to number 5, Robert Gomez. This one was very popular, especially in the first couple days. I really, really like this one. The body style is nice. It's not too standard or normal. The headstock, I feel like there could have been done more with it, but when you look at the details on the body, it looks like these are beads. The first thing my brain jumps to is perler art, and this is very prevalent in Hispanic culture, Mexican culture. You can definitely see some of the heritage that comes through with these designs. The skull right below the neck kind of gives the vibe of Dia de los Muertos, I think is the, you know, the Day of the Dead holiday vibe. So there's just a ton of stuff in here that really, really resonates with the Hispanic culture. So very well done. I really like that. I like how it all looks, and the colors look really good. I think my one criticism for the color matching is I like the purple, and I think the purple goes really well with all the beads in the body. I think the hardware would have been better if it were black, because the gold looks really nice, but it kind of pulls away from everything else. Seeing that gold, it draws your attention immediately to it, and then everything else is secondary to me. I think I would have liked to seen all the hardware that is gold be black instead, like the pickup, because then you really let those beads shine through and get a lot more attention drawn to it first rather than the gold hardware. But of course, excellent guitar. I really like it. Roberto, you did an amazing job. Thank you very much. Moving on to number 4. This one, I'm not quite sure on the pronunciation. I'll take a guess. Native Aran. And if any of you makers are watching this, please correct me on how to pronounce your name. I would appreciate it. This one, I really, really like. This is another headless guitar. Let's get a picture there. Yep, so there you can see it without the headstock. This one just kind of, again, pulls itself together by removing the headstock, and the body style with it I think really is nice. To me, it reminds me of a lightning bolt, but it might be a little bit different. It does have kind of two different shapes. We have a rectangle mixed in with a diamond, and I think that's just a really unique shape that I don't really see often. I feel like the obvious thing that I gravitated towards this is the metal inlay or overlay for this guitar, It looks like they did some kind of etching, whether it was acid etching, marking, I'm not sure. I didn't watch the video for how they came up with this pattern. I like the pattern, and I definitely like the look of it. This one kind of reminds me of my own guitar, where it's got some kind of etched face to it, metal inlay slash overlay in this case. And this one really resonated with me. I think from the front, the metal over top of the wood looks really nice, and it goes well with each other. When you look at it from the back, I'm not a huge fan of how it looks. I feel like the neck going into the body doesn't quite match or fit. So from the front, I think it looks really, really nice. From the back, I'm less excited about it. I do like how they use the metal for the electronic pocket down here, just to match the front with it. I think it does look like they have some engraving. I would like to see this darker to match the front. The front is much easier to see, and I think that would definitely benefit from having a similar treatment. But yeah, definitely nice work. I like the metal on the front, and oh, definitely the frets. I forgot to say the fret dots. I like how they put those on the edge and using the shape of the fret dots to match the body itself. Really nice, really good attention to detail there. And then I definitely like the tuners on the bottom, how it extends out a little bit and just makes it really neat and nice looking. All right, moving on to number 3, Anthony Platt's. This one I saw a little bit of the YouTube videos. I believe this is copper. We have some acid etching in to get the designs on the front as well as the back. I like this one so much, mostly because of the uniqueness of it. You don't really see many guitars that have copper for the body as opposed to wood or something like that. And this one just kind of gave me another vibe of unique metal implications into the guitar. The tailpiece is really neat, handmade, very specialized, and then the frets, do we got a good picture of the fretboard? Not really. Let's get this and zoom in there. I really would have loved to see a better picture of the neck or the fretboard itself and the headstock. The pictures that were submitted, we don't get to see that at all. I would have loved to seen that because your 12th fret inlay looks really cool as far as I can see. It looks like we have more copper in the other fret dot areas. The headstock, it looks like there's nice stuff up there, but I don't really see anything. But overall, this one is a nice one. I like what Anthony did with it, and that is why I went with it for my number 3 spot. Moving on to number 2, Alex Morningstar. This was so cool. I am so excited to go and look at the YouTube videos for this because I am so curious on how he made this. I have very few words because it's a glass guitar. Yeah, I'm just blown away by it. To try and imagine somebody doing what with glass, what I do with wood, blows my mind. But I know that there has to be a different way to do this, otherwise it wouldn't work. It's cool in terms of the body and the neck, they are glass. In terms of the hardware, I don't really like the hardware that much. It's kind of all over the place, I guess. You know, the neck pickup, we have a black pickup support with a silver metal pickup with, it looks like a brass mesh over the top, and then for the bridge pickup, similar frame for that with a all silver pickup, and then we have a chrome chrome pickup, excuse me, and then we have a chrome bridge, a chrome jack plate, and then on our switches and knobs we have, it looks like some abalone or some mother of pearl on the tone and volume knobs, and then a very normal 3-way switch, which is what I use. I think I would have liked to see a lot more symmetry between these just to kind of pull it all together. That was kind of my first thought. My thought is if you had a silver pickup frame for both of them and then had the same pickup in both spots, I think that would have been better, but it does look a little thrown together in terms of hardware. So a little bit more consistency with the hardware, and I think this could have been my number 1, but this is my number 2. I mean, it's a glass guitar. What more what more is there? So Alex, nice work on this one. Moving on to my number 1, Matej Korez. I apologize if I said that incorrectly, but this is my favorite. This, I saw this and it was so cool to me. We have a Iceman style guitar. The shape is, you know, it's close enough to being, I guess, quote unquote normal or standard, but still enough to be unique and stand out a little bit, or to be a bit different. But what really pulls me in is that cloisonne artwork. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I cannot express how well done this is to me. I'm a huge fan of the Japanese culture, the artwork. I'm an anime fan myself, and to see a lot of that tied into this guitar is very, very well done. Here we have our 12th fret inlay. Looks like some tidal waves to go along with what we have on the back end of the guitar in the artwork. Here we have the headstock, again, more cloisonne inlay artwork. There's very little about this guitar that doesn't fit. Everything is tied well together. All the hardware is gold. The frets are gold. The inlay is brass. Like all these are brass or gold. They go so well with each other. The artwork is stunning. I cannot express how beautiful I think this guitar is. I am very excited to go watch the video for this and see how Matej did all this, but it is so incredible and so beautiful. I would love to have this guitar. Matej, if you see this and maybe you want to do some kind of a guitar trade, I might consider it, because this one really has me going and super excited to watch the video on it. And so that is going to round out my top 10 scratch builds. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody for participating in the Great Guitar Build Off for the year 2021. All the entrants were amazing, and it looked like everybody worked really hard. There were a handful of you that weren't able to submit them in time, unfortunately, and I hope for those of you that were not able to make the deadline, best wishes to you for next year. I hope you can get that done, and I know a lot of you were just using this as motivation to get going on it. I hope all of you the best of luck for your future guitar builds. For everybody that did get them submitted, well done. They look amazing. That's just my top 10 and my opinion. I know not everybody has the same taste, and hopefully next year we have a better voting system, in my opinion. I saw a lot of people complaining about the voting system. It's really just a popularity contest, who has the most following and who can get the most people there. And some rumors of some people abusing the voting system with shifting IP addresses or using bots to get their vote up, and whether or not any of that's true, hopefully we can find a better system. I am of the mind that having a peer voting system in the future would be amazing, where the only people that vote in this first stage are the people that submitted guitars. If you have a different idea on how the voting could go better in the future, please comment below so we can all learn and improve upon our systems. That is going to be it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't done so yet, go to the GGBO, the Great Guitar Build Off website. Take a look at these guitars. They're all amazing. And I only went through the scratch builds. The kit builds were just as amazing. The scratch build category is what I entered, and so that's the one that I wanted to address. And also, if you haven't done so yet, please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me. We're getting a nice surge from this Great Guitar Build Off, and I appreciate everybody who has been watching my build videos as well as subscribing to the channel. That means a ton. While you're at it, hit the like, leave a comment, and we'll see everybody on the next video. Have a great day. Bye.